ओम स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः। Sharat wanted to ask something. Yes.
Maharaj, the Holy Trio very often mentioned, especially Vivekananda. He says in one of his famous quotes, purity, patience, perseverance are the three essentials to success, and above all, love. My question is for the last word. What is love? Or can we define love?
It's very difficult to define love. How to define? See, there are so many definitions of love in so many texts like that. It's the most misunderstood word in the world today. So people often interpret it very badly. But probably, that is a love which is absolutely unconditional, without expecting anything whatsoever. That can be one of the higher definitions of love, where a person is simply has an exceptional love for the other without any consideration, love for love's sake. That kind of a love is the highest, as we understand. Because all other love is tinged with some way or other, some expectation. So if that's there, probably that's what Bhagavad Prem, where you love God just without anything, because God is so worthy of love, so people can. That may be one.
Sir, what is the relation between meditation and dreams?
Meditation and dream.
I'm asking this because when I do regular meditation, my dreams become very crystal clear, and they take they are dreams. But it does not happen when I'm not doing that, or I'm not regular at it.
See, normally, as far as dream is concerned, they say whatever you experience in the waking life, only those vrittis appear as dream. That's the normal understanding. It can be now, few years, maybe earlier life or whatever it is. So they form usually the basis for dream. So I don't know if you meditate more, if the mind is more organized, perhaps the dream is also a little more organized, probably, but there is no such relation directly between dream and meditation.
Swamiji, how can we differentiate between psychological phenomena and divine ecstasy?
Psychological phenomena, what? What is the psychological phenomena you're talking about?
Like sometimes we can be in some delusion that we are experiencing
Yeah.
ecstasy.
See, actually, any spiritual experience brings about a clear change in the person's life, and change for permanence. Supposing the moment you undergo any transcendental experience, even the very first experience, that will completely alter your life design permanently. So that is that's the main thing. Psychological, you are the same person. Volume थोड़ा बढ़ा दो. अब बस फिर क्या है? ठीक है तो. हाँ? अभी ठीक है? कि ऊंचे होने तो नाक तक चला जाएगा. ना ये कैसे होगा? ना
अभी बोलिए.
Hello?
It's better. It's not that powerful microphone.
Achha. So, normally, when there is this hallucination and all that, they just leave you where you are. You're perhaps worse off after such experience, not better off. Whereas any transcendental experience, any experience relating to the beyond the sensory region, that leaves a permanent mark, change in the individuality, the change for the better in many aspects. So that is usually the...
Maharaj, is not the liberated person also free? Free from
Yes,
life, right?
yes.
So then ever free and liberated, why there are two categories?
See, liberated means they are born here, they struggle and they get freedom. Whereas ever free are always free. They were never bound at any point of time.
Maharaj, like Adi Shankaracharya very famously said, right, Satsangatve, Nisangatvam, Nisangatve, Nishchaltatve, Nirmohatvam, Jivanam. So my question is, when we are normal people living in society, having household duties, everything, but as we, attempt to progress further, when we reach that Nirmoha stage, slowly, there's a distance that you feel with societal everything, right?
Yes.
So, and then without Nirmoha in that Nirmoha stage, to still be able to function and do everything, it's a little
No. You cannot do in the same way. See, the more you progress in spiritual life, your disconnect with the world increases.
Yeah.
You will not be able to relate to people the way you used to do before. Your value judgments, ideas, perceptions, all would start changing. And people will feel, what is strange in this person like that. So you cannot keep the world perfectly intact and also have a spiritual enlightenment or awakening. It doesn't happen. Because the whole world is moha and maya only, na? If you are completely in it, how can you be near moha? The moment you start progressing in spiritual life, you will experience more and more disconnect with the world. That's why spiritual journey is a loner's journey always. You have to go alone. There's no company like that. Yes?
Swamiji, can we say that ever free personalities are born to liberate people who are in bondage?
Yeah, they come with a special message, meaning. Their birth itself is for some very particular design, to fulfill the design of the divine, the Lord, the Creator. So in that sense only they come. They don't come just like that. There was very purpose of their coming to earth.
Maharaj, systematic procedure of job. Procedure of job.
Yes, you see, procedure, japa, actually, in so many ways it's possible to do japa. And anything, just uttering the Lord's name itself is a kind of japa. When you say Rama, 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 Hari, 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 Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Ma, Sarada, whatever it is. So these are all just taking the Lord's name. And then there are ways in which people are given this name in traditions, various traditions. Various traditions, there may be different ways. So we don't know about every tradition. In the mission also, between Guru to Guru, there may be slight variations. It may not be exactly the same. But generally, they say, first, the moment you sit straight and all that. Generally, some seniors, they say you pray to Ganesha to remove all the obstacles, etc. But some gurus don't say that. But then there is worship of the Guru. First of all, there is imagining the form of the Guru and offering flowers, arghya, etc. at his feet. And then you again imagine the form of the Ishtadevata, and the Guru is merged into Ishtadevata. Then to the Ishtadevata you offer various articles of worship like Padya, Arghya, Achamni, etc. up to Naivedya and all that. And you constantly feel that Ishtadevata is very graciously looking at you and is out of compassion is blessing you with boons and all that. Then you always pray for complete liberation from this bondage of samsara. And with that idea, with that form in mind, you start doing your given mantra. That's one normal way of japa. Then at the end of it, then the japa is stopped and only the murti or the figure or the rupa of the Ishtadevata that is contemplated upon in the heart, that is dhyana. This much is normally prescribed.
Maharaj, one question. Like somebody is self-illumined.
Self-illumined.
Self-enlightened.
Ah.
Most of the people try to help the society like in a compassionate way. But some might feel like you said, like disconnected with the society, how it works. So is it possible that they don't even actually help anybody and risk it?
Yeah, they may quickly give up their body itself. A person reaches a very high level of enlightenment, within a short time the body may drop off. It's possible. Because their kind of connection is not normally what we say. See, then they connect only for the sake of helping mankind. If one is highly evolved, completely enlightened, such a person stays in the world only to help others in the path of liberation or sadhana or illumination. And quite a few men just, it depends upon the type of souls. If they are really adhikarikas, who have been empowered that way, then they continue to stay to help mankind. But there are some, for them it stops with their own liberation and then they quickly go away from the world. Then the body drops off.
Maharaj, as an extension to what you mentioned about japa, a lot of times it's far more easier to kind of visualize in Chidakasha or the headspace. How can a practitioner try to build more the feeling?
No, that's only by practice.
Only by practice. More repetition.
Okay? So, talking about faith, Sri Ramakrishna says, once a man was about to cross the sea. Vibhishana wrote Rama's name on a leaf, tied it in a corner of the man's wearing cloth, and said to him, "Don't be afraid, have faith and walk on the water." Somebody came, I think he was washed ashore or so in Sri Lanka. So, seeing him, he became so overjoyed. Oh, same from the Rama's clan. So he treated him with great honor and all that. Then जाते समय उसका समंदर का बहुत ही चल रहा था. It was turbulent at that time. So उन्होंने क्या किया? राम का नाम एक पत्ते पे लिख के कपड़े में कोने में बांध दिया उनका. बांध के बोला, अरे अब चिंता मत करो, डरो मत, विश्वास रख के पानी पर चलते रहो. बट लुक हियर, द मोमेंट यू लूज फेथ यू विल बी ड्राउंड. आप संदेह करो तो बस, अविश्वास मन में आ जाए तो तुरंत डूब जाओगे. द मैन वॉज वॉकिंग ईजिली ऑन वाटर. Suddenly he had an intense desire to see what was tied in his cloth. अरे क्या जादू है, मैं ऐसे पानी पे चल पा रहा हूँ. He opened it and found only a leaf with the name of Rama written on it. What is this? He thought. Just the name of Rama. As soon as doubt entered his mind, he sank under the water. So, Thakur करें को कितना powerful. If you have faith, anything is possible. Actually, many such things also, even in a lesser way, even in the world you see, many of the people, many of those who are achievers, etc., largely because of the tremendous faith in themselves, Atma Shraddha. That's what the difference between an ordinary person and a great achiever. Most of them all are same only. Why some people achieve so much? It's because of the tremendous Atma Shraddha or self-belief. So this same Shraddha, if you take it even one grade higher and take it as faith in God, obviously that can work miracles. If a man has faith in God, then even if he has committed the most heinous sins, such as killing a cow, a Brahmin or a woman, these were considered tremendous sins in those days, not now. He will certainly be saved through his faith. Let him only say to God, O Lord, I will not repeat such an action, and he need not be afraid of anything. जो भी आप किया तो भगवान के चरणों में ऐसे समर्पण करके ऐसे जीवन में दोबारा ऐसे नहीं करूँगा. Then if you have faith, you will be saved. Not that you have faith and come back and do it again and then, no, not like that. आपको पहले रोकना है उसी से नहीं, कभी नहीं करूँगा. Then it's possible. When he said this, the master sang, if only I can pass away repeating Durga's name, how canst thou then, O Blessed One, withhold from me deliverance, wretched though I may be. मैं आपका नाम लेके शरीर छोड़ो तो आप कैसे मेरा मुक्त नहीं करेंगे, हो नहीं सकता है. I may have stolen a drink of wine or killed a child unborn or slain a woman or a cow or even caused a Brahmin's death. जो उस समय बहुत गहर पाप सोचते थे, मैं तो किया होगा, लेकिन but though it all be true, nothing of this can make me feel the least uneasiness, for through the power of the sweet name, my wretched soul may still aspire even to Brahmanhood. क्यों? आपका जो मधुर नाम से उस वही शक्ति से मेरा ऐसे ही मैं एक जीव हूँ, फिर भी मैं ब्रह्म ज्ञान भी आशा रख सकता हूँ. So meaning thereby the power of God's name. Of course, in our Puranas, etc., we get many such instances where the Lord's name famous, how in the Mahabharata, Draupadi in that critical condition prayed to Krishna, just immediately something miraculous happened and she was saved. Like that there are many such stories. Pointing to Narendra, the master said, you all see this boy, he behaves that way here. A naughty boy seems very gentle when with his father, but is quite another person when he plays in the Chandni. यहाँ तो इतना चुपचाप बैठा है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. Narendra and people of this type belong to the class of the ever free. That he always used to say, some 6 of his disciples, they were Ishvara Kotis or Nitya Siddhas, ever free, like that. They are never entangled in the world. When they grow a little older, they feel the awakening of the inner consciousness and go directly towards God. They come to the world only to teach others. They never care for anything of the world. They are never attached to common culture. So, of course, such Nityasiddhas also, much more avataradi, slowly when they are born, not that from day one वो ऐसे ही करेंगे, उनका भी पहले बचपना से धीरे धीरे होते होते जब थोड़ा बड़े होते उनका मन में ऐसी जागरण हो जाता है जिसकी वजह से वो समझ लेते हैं. Then simply their Godward journey begins. So Thakur always talks about Homa bird of the Vedas. Don't know which Veda has this reference. But anyway, the story is very nice. The Homa bird, it lives high up in the sky and there it lays its eggs. वो आकाश में उसका ऐसे होता है, eggs. As soon as the egg is laid, it begins to fall. But it is so high that it continues to fall for many days. इतनी ऊंचाई है, वो गिरते ही बहुत समय लगता है. करते करते, as it falls, it hatches and the chick falls. उसे अंडा से वो शावक भी निकल जाता है. And then, as the chick falls, its eyes open. It grows wings. As soon as its eyes open, it realizes that it is falling and it will be dashed to pieces on touching the earth. Then at once it shoots up towards the mother bird high in the sky. उसी से वो फिर ऊपर दौड़ शुरू कर देता है. So you see, Thakur is meaning thereby, although Nityasiddhas are also born like others in this world, but तुरंत वो समझ लेते हैं ये धरती पे रहना क्या है, इसके बंधन क्या है. जैसे ही समझ आ जाते हैं, then they start their Godward journey. At this point, Narendra left the room. केदार, क्योंकि उनके बारे में इतना बोल रहे हैं तो बाहर चले गए. Kedar, Pran Krishna, Yam and many others remained. Master. You see, Narendra excels in singing, playing on instruments, study and everything. The other day he had a discussion with Kedar and tore his argument to shreds. All laugh. एकदम उनका पूरा ही कर दिया. ठाकुर बहुत खुश है. केदार के साथ वो किया, तर्क किया, बिल्कुल उसका आर्ग्यूमेंट सब काट दिया. TM, is there any book in English on reasoning, logic? ऐसे कुछ किताब है? Yes sir, it is called Logic. Tell me what it says. M was literally embarrassed. क्या बोलूं उनका? He said, one part of the book deals with deduction from the general to the particular. साधारण से विशेष. Example, all men are mortal, scholars are men, therefore scholars are mortal. पहले कोई साधारण कुछ चीज़ बता के उसी से कोई विशेष ग्रुप लेके, विशेष कोई लेके उनके बारे में बोलना. Because all men are mortal, scholars are also men. So although they are scholars, still they are also mortal. Another part deals with the method of reasoning from the particular to the general. पहले general से particulars आया, अभी particular से. इसमें क्या है? This crow is black, that crow is black, the crows that we see everywhere are black, therefore all crows are black. ये कौवा काला है, वही कौवा काला है, जहाँ भी दिखता हूँ कौवा काला है, all कौwas are black only. But there may be a fallacy in a conclusion arrived at this way. इसमें एक गलत हो सकता है. क्यों? For inquiry one may find a white crow in some place. कहाँ भी कोई देश में सफ़ेद कौवा भी है, then all कौwas are not black. Then another illustration. If there is rain, there is or has been a cloud. Therefore rain comes from a cloud. Still another example. This man has 32 teeth, that man has 32 teeth, all men have 32. So you see, individuals to general. Therefore men have 32 teeth. English logic deals with such inductions and deductions. So उन्होंने तो श्री रामकृष्ण तो कोई प्रसंग शुरुआत कर देते हैं, then तुरंत और उसके ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, क्योंकि his mind cannot go into all these silly details. Sri Ramakrishna barely heard these words. While listening, he became absent-minded, so the conversation did not proceed. When the meeting broke up, the devotees sauntered in the temple garden. Yam went in the direction of the Panchavati. यम ने पंचवटी की तरह गया, बाकी सब तो घर चले गए. Yam had a lot of time. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. After a while, he returned to the master's room. There in the small veranda, he witnessed an amazing sight. So, उन्होंने तो नया नया आ रहे हैं, इसलिए जितना समय संभव रहना प्रयास करते थे. मेरा तो छुट्टी कम मिलता है और उसे घर के किसी को परमिशन लेना नहीं था, बिकॉज ही वॉज द मास्टर. सो यहाँ आके बिल्कुल जितना संभव रहते थे. सो वापस आया, वो देख रहे हैं मुझे पूर्व वरांदा में एक अद्भुत उन्होंने दृश्य देखा. श्री रामकृष्ण was standing still, surrounded by a few devotees, and नरेंद्र was singing. नरेंद्र गाना गा रहे थे, श्री रामकृष्ण बिल्कुल एकदम साइलेंट खड़े रहे थे. Yam had never heard anyone except the master sing so sweetly. When looked at Sri Ramakrishna, he was struck with wonder, for the master stood motionless with eyes transfixed. आँख सब ऐसे ही स्थिर है, हिलना डुलना नहीं है. He seemed not even to breathe. A devotee told Yam that the master was in samadhi. तो पहले बार देखा, कभी देखा नहीं सुना नहीं, क्या चीज़ है. Yam had never before seen or heard of such a thing. Silent with wonder, he thought, is it possible for a man to be so oblivious of the outer world in the consciousness of God? भगवान के बारे में सोच के ऐसा भी कोई हो सकता है क्या? बाहर का जगत संपूर्ण रूप से भूल जाए, कोई ही उनका संपर्क ही नहीं, ऐसा कैसे संभव? See, it was not that Ramakrishna had to go to some deep forest somewhere, sitting alone, एक गुहा में बैठ के नहीं. अभी बातें करते करते, गाना करते करते कोई ने कुछ शब्द ऐसे बोला जिससे उनका याद आ गया. Because that is because Sri Ramakrishna after intense sadhana, वो तो बाद में कोई दूसरा उनका जीवन चरित्र किताब में है, तो 6 और 8 महीने तक वो निर्विकल्प समाधि में डूबे थे. Sri Ramakrishna himself says somewhere, ordinary jivas after 21 days their body will drop off. कोई निर्विकल्प समाधि में 21 दिन रहते तो संपूर्ण रूप से शरीर रहेगा नहीं. But 68 months he was absorbed. नींद नहीं है, खाना नहीं है, नहाना नहीं है. कोई कभी कभी किसी समय बाहर से कोई एक साधु आके छोटी सी एक लाठी लेके पीट के थोड़ा मुंह में just 1 or 2 morsels of food he will push, ताकि शरीर रहे ऐसे. So naturally ऐसे होने के बाद then he got the mandate from the Divine Mother, तुम भावमुख में रहो. So I think that भावमुख itself is a very big subject. उसके बहुत कुछ बारे में सोचना समझना सब है. But very आप simple language में from the highest that transcendental level of Advaita, that complete sense of oneness, उन्होंने उतर के द्वैत भूमि आना, नहीं तो शरीर छूट जाएगी. What shall we? He has to come back. So mother said, normally you live in the threshold. द्वैत और अद्वैत के बीच में जो थ्रेशोल्ड है, वही जगह पे साधारण रूप से तुम रहो, ताकि ऐसे कभी होने में उद्दीपना से अद्वैत भूमि में चढ़ जाते थे और उतरते तो बातचीत करना, even used to make fun and this and that, all would happen. So it was just, he was at the kind of a meeting point between these two, which is very rare to explain. ऐसे कोई ऐसा दूसरा ऐसा कोई कभी रहा क्या मालूम नहीं है. So he said that's why he did not have to go somewhere else, to a forest or a secluded place or anything like that. ऐसे कोई बात होते होते ऐसे कोई कुछ बोला, किसी को देखा, तुरंत उनका याद आ गया. Then the mind would simply fly to that super conscious state, उस समय वो समाधिस्थ हो जाते थे. Then you will not be able to talk, nothing. Then फिर भी उस अवस्था से उतरने की भी उनका कुछ व्यवस्था था भगवान की कृपा से. धीरे धीरे आँख खोलते थे, मैं थोड़ा पानी लूँगा, मैं थोड़ा संदेश लूँगा. Then he will just come down and then he will talk. Just talk normally, as if nothing happened. The person 3 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago was in such a deep superconscious state. He comes down and then he talks. It was very amazing. Narendra was singing, meditate, O mind, on the Lord Hari, the stainless one, pure spirit through and through. How peerless is the light that in him shines. How soul befitting is his wondrous form. How dear is he to all his devotees. Even more beauteous in fresh blossoming love that shames the splendor of a million moons, like lightning gloom the glory of his form, raising erect the hair for very joy. So naturally when such songs are sung, Sri Ramakrishna could immediately go to that state, what is described in that song. So that's why he would immediately connect. The master shuddered when the last line was sung. His hair stood and erect. Tears of joy streamed down his cheeks. Now and then his lips parted in a smile. Was he seeing the peerless beauty of God that shames the splendor of a million moons? Was this the vision of God, the essence of spirit? How much austerity and discipline, how much faith and devotion must be necessary for such a vision? This is Yam's observation. See, Ramakrishna though, I say nahi hua. First 12 years of his life, it was virtually every day reaching almost to the threshold of death and coming back. Itni kathor sadhana. So he says, 1/100th of that people would have died of the intensity. But somehow because he was born for a very particular mission, so he could withstand. So, yeah, I'm ask, yeah.
I was just asking, what is this song in Bengali?
Huh?
This song in Bengali, what is this song in Bengali?
This particular, I don't remember this.
No problem.
Huh?
No problem.
This particular song, I don't remember. We can find out. It's not difficult to find out. We'll check.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sure. महाराज जी, ठाकुर के disciples भी इसी स्थिति में आए थे?
No, उतना नहीं है. See, they all had, many of them had Nirvikalpa Samadhi, highest levels of Samadhi, and they were in that, they had many transcendental visions and all that. But they were, way below Thakur that way. Raja Maharaj, see, amongst them also, they were of a different nature. Like Raja Maharaj used to have repeatedly visions. He was always, quite often he would go into bhava. And someone like Sharat Maharaj was all controlled, very little emotion or expression at that. But they were all fully realized, liberated souls. But definitely the incomparable. You cannot compare Thakur's state at all. It's not possible. It's not possible for any of the normal people, however advanced in spiritual life also, to be like that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu probably. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also considered an incarnation of God. Probably he was also like that. Although the expressions might have been a little different, but he was also at the very highest level of consciousness only. Arja Bahyadasha, then Sampurna Samadhi. The song went on. Worship His feet in the lotus of your heart, with mind serene and eyes made radiant, with heavenly love, behold that matchless sight. Again that bewitching smile, the body motionless as before, the eyes half shut as if beholding a strange inner vision. So that is some of the pictures taken during that condition are available. You can see a very, very beautiful, rare smile on his face. Just a little, the lips are half parted, but very beautiful to look. Narendra sang the last lines, caught in the spell of his love's ecstasy. Immerse yourself for evermore, O mind, in him who is pure knowledge and pure bliss. It's a beautiful song where many ideas are combined. The ideas of the highest knowledge, highest love, everything is combined in this. The sight of the samadhi and the divine bliss he had witnessed left an indelible impression on M's mind. Oh, dekhe to naturally, someone seeing it for the first time, particularly he was a seeker. उनका भी ये 2-3 विजिट्स के अंदर ही बहुत परिवर्तन हुआ अंदर. So धीरे धीरे उनका it became, it was like a bolt from blue. It's not that this person was just talking about God. Not that. You see the condition to which his mind can soar. Just hearing a song. कितने लोग कितने गाना सुनते हैं. But to hear that song and immediately go into, that means what? You see, normal people खुद ही बहुत सी साधना करके कभी कभी वही स्थिति में पहुंच पाते हैं. Not that always you are in samadhi. Or even just I was reading, someone asked Raja Maharaj, one of his disciples, his own friend, वो कोई हिमालय में रहा करते थे, he had not taken any guru or anything. He suddenly wrote to him, I have realized I have got samadhi or something like that. And when this friend said, Brahmachari told Raja Maharaj, he has got like this. Why? I saw him the other day. His eyes were not like that. If samadhi is such a small thing, maybe he might have had some ecstasy. He has mistaken. Even Swamiji had only 3 or 4 times. It's not so easy. So Raja Maharaj says. Raja Maharaj is supposed to be one of the most mystically oriented disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. So, but you see, in the case of Sri Ramakrishna, it is not. That means what? He was always almost very close to that at all the time. Otherwise, how just a song, just some word, just something reference, how could one go like that? It's not that normally, after intense sadhana, several days, months, etc., then suddenly one gets that kind of an enlightenment or something there. But here is a person, just somebody sings a song and he goes into samadhi. What does it mean? His mind was always virtually in a superconscious state only. उसका किसी वक्त उन्होंने जबरदस्ती पकड़ के उतर के रखा. So जब भी मौका मिल जाता है वो वहाँ भाग जाते हैं. That's the only way you can say. He was always there only. Just for the sake of the world, he used to come down a little. And whenever there is a chance, immediately the mind takes flight to that higher consciousness. Otherwise, how is it possible? Just by listening, कितने गाना कितने लोग सुनते हैं. These songs are all, many people have heard again and again. So we are also hearing it's being, the narration at least. The next day too was a holiday. फिर आ गए अगले दिन. Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. Narendra, Bhavanath and a few others were sitting on a mat spread on the floor. They were all young men of 19 or 20. बहुत ही, imagine in such youngsters crowding around a person who was totally different to them in temperament and taste and behavior. Because otherwise, unless one is deeply attracted to something super sensuous, it is not possible to get close to Sri Ramakrishna. You know, there was nothing externally attractive in his personality. ना देखने के लिए ऐसा कुछ जादू फादू नहीं जानता था, कुछ नहीं करता था, क्यों जाएं? But people, when they find out his inner this thing, then so all these youngsters were inspired that way. He was talking to them, smiling. No sooner had Yam entered the room than the master laughed and aloud and said to the boys, "There he comes again. Fir aa gaya." They all joined in the laughter. Yam bowed low before him and took a seat. Before this, he had saluted the master with folded hands. हार जोड़ के प्रणाम करता था, अभी झुक के प्रणाम कर रहा है. Like one with English education. But that day, he learned to fall down at his feet in orthodox Hindu fashion. भूमिष्ठ होके प्रणाम करना, तब तक वो सीख लिया. Presently, the master explained the cause of his lost prayer to the devotees. क्यों सब हंस रहे थे? बोला, a man once fed a peacock with a pill of opium at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 बजे उसका opium खिलाया. The next day, exactly at that time, the peacock came back. आगे अगले दिन. It had felt the intoxication of the drug and returned just in time to have another dose. So like that, वो तो अभी एक मिल गया टेस्ट, तो फिर इसलिए दोबारा आ गया, हर रोज आ रहे हैं. Yam thought this was a very apt illustration. Even at home, he had been unable to banish the thought of Sri Ramakrishna for a moment. एक क्षण भी उनका दूसरा को सोचना संभव नहीं हुआ, इतना वो मोहित हो गए उनका देखे यार. His mind was constantly at Dakshineshwar and he had counted the minutes until he should go again. कब जाऊं? Like that, he was so restless. In the meantime, the master was having great fun with the boys, treating them as if they were his most intimate friends. ये भी उन लोग का ऐसे ही था. Peals of side-splitting laughter filled the room as if it were a mart of joy. ठाकुर का उनका जो सानिध्य में परिसर में, you will never hear the whole of Kathamat, everybody was morose and sitting like that weeping. No, हमेशा ही बहुत मजाक ऐसे ही चलता था. He says, he thought this whole thing was a revelation to him. He thought, didn't I see him only yesterday, intoxicated with God? कल मैंने देखा ऐसे ही भगवत प्रेम में विभोर होके ऐसी स्थिति में थे, आज ऐसे बच्चे लोग के साथ मजाक कर रहे हैं. Wasn't he who scolded me on the first day of my coming here? Didn't he admonish me saying, are you a man of knowledge? Wasn't he who said to me, God with form is as true as God without form? Didn't he tell me God alone is real and all else illusory? Wasn't it he who advised me to live in the world unattached like a maidservant in a rich man's house? He was trying to recollect. जो जो सुना सब उन्होंने मन में फिर सोच रहे थे. Sri Ramakrishna was having great fun with young devotees. Now and then he glanced at Yam. उसकी तरह देख रहे हैं, वो तो चुपचाप बैठे हुआ. But he noticed Yam sat in silence. The master said to Ramlal, you see, he is a little advanced in years and therefore somewhat serious. उसका ज़्यादा नहीं था. It was only 28 years or so, but these are all much younger, 19-20. He sits quiet while the youngsters are making merry. Yam was then about 28 years old. So that's why practically all the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, in spite of their God intoxication, they were actually, all of them were like that, very cheerful by temperament. Swamiji भी बहुत ही मजाक करते थे. So much so, poor Mr. Leggett was there. With him, he was practicing yoga, using him as a pad or something like that. बहुत कुछ ऐसे करते थे. They all were like that. Ajay Maharaj was very famous. He will cut many practical jokes in the mutt itself. एक बार वो प्रॉब्ली इधर विज्ञान महाराज और अखंडानंद जी बहुत पहले पहले स्टेशन चले जाते थे. शाम को ट्रेन, वो तो दोपहर 10-11 बजे निकल गए ऐसे से. Then what he did was one day he told those पालकी वालास, तो एक्स्ट्रा पैसे दे दूंगा, तुम बेलूर मठ की चारी तरह घुमा के यहाँ वापस ले जाओ. So poor Akhandanand sat in the parking. Then simply they were going around, going. He thought they were going to our station. After some 2 hours or so, they simply brought him back to Mutt, and there Raja Maharaj standing and laughing. तो उस दिन उसको नहीं भेजना चाहते थे, so इसलिए घुमा के वहाँ लेके आया. Not only that, many stories of him like that. She was used to stay in Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar का बहुत ही पसंद की जगह था, and he always used to call it as Gupta Kashi. That's why beautiful mutt he has made in Bhubaneswar, very big campus, very big. So उस समय महाराज he was staying there. So कलकत्ता से 4 युवक आए थे. सुना हम लोग एक होटल में जाके जगह लिए, बोला हम लोग को सुना रामकृष्ण मठ का प्रेसिडेंट यहाँ है, कौन है, हम मिलना चाहते हैं, हम लोग पोल खोल दूंगा, हम लोग फिर एक्सपोज हिम, कहाँ है. तो बोला तो नज़दीक है, आश्रम तो ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है, यहाँ ही मठ है, जाइए जाके मिलिए. So just before that, suddenly Raja Maharaj became a little serious and told the young monastics there, अच्छा एक कमरे में ना मेरी चेयर और सामने चेयर अलग अलग चेयर रख दो, मैं अंदर हूँ, आप दरवाज़ा बंद करके चले जाओ. So they closed the door and went. So then immediately the boys came, youngsters. कहाँ है आपका प्रेसिडेंट, कहाँ है, हम लोग मिलने के लिए आए हैं. हाँ जाइए, ये घर पे बैठा हूँ. So they entered and the brahmachari, they closed the door. For the next 1 hour, I say हंसी, laughter, एकदम रूफ तो उड़ा देगा ऐसा. They were such peals of laughter. And after 1 hour, we came out. We don't know about our God or anything. We have never seen such a hasyamay purush in our life. So he had a very wonderful way of dealing with people. Various, he was a person of great moods, great ecstasy, great everything. Even as he was president, he never used to care for conventions and all that. He was on his own all the time. So he was the president. और उसमें बेलूर मठ में बहुत सारे तालाब रहते थे. So he would sometimes he will sit एक जो टॉवल बंगाल में कहते हैं गमछा, बहुत पर्टिकुलर टॉवल इज देयर, वो पहन के वहाँ बैठ गए, वहाँ वही तालाब के तट पे बैठी हैं, हाथ में मछली पकड़ना, वही इंस्ट्रूमेंट लेके. नॉट दैट ही वॉज इंटरेस्टेड. Suddenly, even sitting there, his mind would soar somewhere else. But just that hobby, बचपन का जो hobby था उनका, he was from a जमींदार family. So he used to play playfully. So एक दिन बहुत बड़ा कोई आया, डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट आगे. उस दिन ने डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट में होल एरिया वो कांपने लगा ऐसा, because he was so powerful. They were very, very highly senior officials. So Baburam used to tell him many times, राजा ऐसा मत करो, आप तो प्रेसिडेंट मठ के लिए क्या सोचेंगे सब, ऐसे तुम एक टॉवल पहन के ऐसी मछली पकड़ने बैठते हो, अरे वो छोड़ो. So you never used to listen. And this business master came, आपका प्रेसिडेंट कहाँ है, प्रेसिडेंट कहाँ है, मैं मिलना चाहता हूँ, प्रेसिडेंट से मेरा दीक्षा लेना है. मैंने बाबा महाराज क्या बोले, ये फिर तो बोलना है, नहीं तो झूठ बोलना है, मठ में नहीं बोलना, झूठ तो नहीं बोल सकते हैं. नहीं, अब देखिए वो तालाब के वो तट पे बैठे हुए हुए हम लोग का प्रेसिडेंट वो थोड़ा आगे जाया, अरे ये मछली पकड़ने वाला, जरूरत नहीं है, चले गए. तो राजा महाराज के, देखो राजा मैं बोला ना, तुम सुना नहीं, ऐसे ऐसे हुआ, आज मैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट में. बाबा महाराज एटलीस्ट सम ट्रेस ऑफ प्रैक्टिकलिटी, नो. तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट में से दीक्षित होने में, शिष्य बनने में बहुत फायदा है आश्रम का. क्या सोचा मालूम नहीं, इतना बड़ा आया कोई, आया पूछा, अब देखिए ऐसी मछली पकड़ने वाला जरूरत नहीं, चला गया. अरे राको, कितना रिसीवमेंट आएगा बाद में, छोड़ो तुम. चले गए. 7 दिन ऐसे हुआ. फिर वो दौड़ दौड़ के आ रहे. फिर बाबूराम महाराज, उस समय महाराज वो स्वामी जी जहाँ रहा करते थे उसके बगल में एक वरांडा है, जस्ट ओवरलुकिंग द गैंजेस. कभी कभी महाराज वहाँ बैठते थे, एक इसी चेयर में बैठ के उनका हाथ में वही हुक्का रहता था. ऐसे पकड़ते हैं लेकिन उनका दृष्टि संपूर्ण एक दूसरा जगत में एकदम भावस्थ होके बैठ जाते थे. कहाँ है आपका प्रेसिडेंट, कहाँ है? नहीं, आप तो बोले उस समय मछली वाला, जरूरत नहीं कि आप क्यों आए हैं? नहीं, प्लीज़ बताइए, ठाकुर मेरा स्वप्न में आया, बहुत डांटा, जाओ मूर्ख तुम, जाओ उसके पैर पकड़ो, जाओ उसके पास दीक्षा लाओ. बोला मेरा चाहिए, ऊपर बैठे हुए. वो आया, देन ही वॉज स्टन्ड. हियर इज अ पर्सन, ही वॉज नॉट इन दिस वर्ल्ड. बहुत ही रोया. वो दीक्षित भी हुए, he got diksha and he presented all those instruments to his guru. पर दीक्षा की सामग्री के रूप में गुरु दक्षिणा में वो मछली पकड़ने वाला सब वो सब चिप सब पूरा दिया था. अभी भी बेलूर में रखा है. बेलूर में राजा महाराज मंदिर के ऊपर बहुत सारी चीज़ महाराज के व्यवर्थ सब चीज़ वहाँ they keep there. On his birthday, some of the things are kept on display. I have heard like that. They have kept it like so. Maharaj was not to care for anything, any this thing. He always had a different. Like there's so many incidents about. Somebody came with offer for a huge money. So Maharaj was manager of the mutt. ना वो तो जानते हैं, हर रोज उनका ही तो चलाना है. राजा वहाँ तो नहीं चलाएंगे. वो तो कोई भक्त के घर चले जाएंगे तो अच्छा खाना मिलता है, उनका क्या है. तो लेकिन मठ चलाना है तो बाबूराम हर रोज कहाँ से रेशन आएगा, कहाँ से चावल खरीदना है, तो कई चिंता है. सो कोई बड़ा डोनेशन देने के लिए आया. राजा देखो ही वांट टू गिव. बिल्कुल, अरे बाबूराम वो तो गृहस्थ लोग वो त्याग करके देना चाहते हैं, हम लोग सन्यासी होके संसारी तरह लेना चाहते हैं. नहीं. तो बाबूराम वॉज वेरी मच डिसअपॉइंटेड. तो दान तो देने के लिए आए भाई, हम तो मांगा भी नहीं, खुद ही देने के लिए आया था, क्यों मना कर रहे हैं. 7 दिन बाद वो आया, बोला उससे भी मेरा ऐसे कोई गुजर गया था, वही दुख में कहा अभी मैं ऐसा नहीं देना चाहता हूँ. So yet somehow he was very, see, as long as he was there, it was very different. Same time, because he was from that, he was Jamindar family. Swamiji was, like Shiva, उनका कुछ भी अंदाज नहीं था, सबको बना दो, ऐसे कर दो. So उन्होंने आके एक एक करके सबको वही बोर्ड फोर्ड से सब उन्होंने ही निकाला. Those people who had to be removed. All that streamlining, everything, he was so capable. ध्यान नहीं देते थे because they found it impossible even to call him for board meetings. अभी नहीं, बाद में से प्रेसिडेंट का सिग्नेचर चाहिए मीटिंग अनाउंस करने के लिए. Sometimes he would keep on postponing, बाद में, like that. But all his decisions, whatever he touched, he was the person who really, because for 20 years. He was the longest ever president from the time it was established, say from 1902 etc. to 20 years full maximum. One Swami almost touched, but then he had to go 19 years some months में. Virishwaranji is the only person who 20 years. ऐसा उन्होंने when Nivedita was completely engaged in राजनीति. She was Swamiji's very dear disciple. Swamiji उनका गिरवा वस्त्र भी दिया था, निवेदिता नाम उन्होंने ही दिया. But Raja Maharaj clearly said, either you completely give up or you go away. You can't be in both. You must go and give a statement that you have no official connection whatsoever with Belur Math. Some people did not like, but he was itna unka दूरदर्शिता, वो जानते थे there would have been a big problem. She was an Irish woman. They would not do anything to her because she had immunity. But they will take it out on Math and the sadhus, na? So he decided, you clearly say that. Either you be here fully, it's okay. Otherwise you clearly say that I have nothing whatsoever. So she gave a big statement, came in the papers I believe, completely saying that she is not part of. Of course, they all used to love her so much. Maharaj used to treat her so with such affection, ever till the end. There was no difference in that. But officially, he didn't want her to be part of it because that would have been. So like that, his vision, his insights, his, of course, extraordinary spiritual illumination combined with the ability to manage, administer, but all absolutely on spiritual values, spiritual power. इसी से उनका the capacity to gauge, to understand. बनारस में बहुत हो रहा था साधुस के बीच में some difference of opinion. Nobody could say anything. साधुस तो साधु का कौन क्या बोलेगा, वो तो लोटा लेके निकल पड़ते थे. So but simply he went there. He did not ask anything. Every day you will all come and meditate with me. बस 7 दिन के अंदर सब problem solved. Because sitting and meditating with him was something different. The mind would be so uplifted. कहाँ उनका ऐसी छोटी चीज में मन लगाना संभव ही नहीं है. So he was like that. So he was saying, that's what he was saying. How is it that a person who was doing all that, how he could just a day before he was like that. Today he is making merry, he is having fun with the youngsters and all that. So that was often they would see in Sri Ramakrishna. Because he was always in that realm only. बहुत ही प्रयास करके जब उतर के आते थे, उस समय you'd make fun, he would say I'm जलेबी लूँगा, जलेबी उनका बहुत पसंद था, वो भी बहुत, और कोई बच्चे आते तो छुपा देते. He was like just like a child. ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत. श्री राम कृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु.